Loose change for getting down. It's Friday and I'm on fire, and I know that I'll break your heart, and I'm sorry, I'm just so tired. These cars are just it, so won't you come?
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love.
Hey, what's going
like
on,
she
everybody?
showed us.
Now you're on mute, Ace.
Uh-oh.
Hey, we're not
There we go.
again tonight. Well, anyways, welcome to Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Ace, and you're watching another episode of Between the Ropes. Tonight, it's simply going to be all about that pay-per-view that we just watched of Hell in a Cell. Let me introduce the crew for the night. First off, we have Mr. Crispy Bacon. Crispy, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. That was a good pay-per-view, I thought.
All right, and then of course he's back.
He's back.
He's not Sergeant Slaughter. He's Sarge Junior. How you doing tonight? He's back. He's not Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, God.
How's everyone doing?
Right?
Oh.
Doing fantastic. Fantastic. All right, and then of course welcome in one half of the Balding Bros, Big B. How you doing tonight?
Doing okay. Got off of work just in time to talk a little Hell in a Cell.
All right, and then of course welcome in Christy again. How you doing tonight?
Doing good. Ready to talk about this pay-per-view that actually was pretty good.
All right, and then of course we have Mr. Mess Around Dave. Mess Around, how are you doing tonight? Mess around with messing around.
Well, you know something, brother. I didn't watch this pay-per-view, so I can't have that. I only watched the last two matches. I totally forgot the whole thing was on.
Let me tell you something, brother. So, welcome in William Hudson. He's leaving a comment saying good evening. So, good evening. There was actually something that I wanted to address just really, really quickly, because this was something that I saw on Facebook and a few groups too. There's some people, I guess, upset because Bray Wyatt didn't make his return, and they're like, in WWE lied. I'm like, they didn't even say he was coming back.
No.
He just left some stuff on Twitter and said, I'm tired of waiting. It's almost time. So because he said that, all of a sudden everyone thinks he's returning at Hell in a Cell, and now people were upset because he didn't come back.
I've heard between Hell in a Cell and Raw.
Talk about getting your hopes up and then they're dashed.
But the thing is nobody ever said he was coming back.
No, I didn't see anything about it.
Nobody came out.
Who's the saying coming back to WWE? I mean,
Ray did. Ray
that's
pretty much
Bravo's
tired
rumors.
of waiting.
The only reason that people were speculating he was coming back to WWE was simply because on his Twitter and Instagram account, he used the name Wyatt, and WWE has the Wyatt name trademark, so they own that name. So he went on there as Wyatt and said, it's almost time, I'm tired of waiting. So everyone's like, oh, he's using the name Wyatt, so he must be returning. So then people thought Hell in a Cell, and it's like, well, WWE never said he was coming back, so you can't really get upset about that.
it wouldn't have been the wrong pay-per-view to come back on. I mean, you know.
I heard it was going to be here in Raw,
But Will saying, if he was coming back, why come back at this event? Exactly, right?
I don't know.
Like,
my guess is to target Rollins because they had a Hell in a Cell match once before.
Well, right. Yeah, it ended in a DQ that pissed everybody off.
Right.
But if you think about it, though, a good event for him to return could be like Money in the Bank, right? They could go, these are the guys we have, but we have one more opponent added, and then that's when.
Could he replace Cody? And we'll get to that later.
Maybe. I don't know if he did return. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into the first match of the night. The triple threat. The triple threat match for the women's championship. Man, that match was freaking fire. That was an absolutely good match. That was crazy. Wow. All right. So, Sarge, I'm going to start out with you on this one. What was your thoughts of the triple threat, a women's championship match? You're on mute.
No, you're on mute. So, all right. So, like if you put those three in the ring, you're definitely get 90% of the time you're gonna get a terrific match, which happened right there. Becky Lynch sold everything so well, what was awesome. Asuka, that double ankle lock was an awesome thing to watch as well. But everyone's behind Belair, and it was not a surprise that Belair actually won that match. So it was a really good match. And in my opinion, with this whole entire pay-per-view, it was the running as match of our match of the night.
So, Sarge, let me ask you a question really, really quick, because I don't know if you saw these when this became a triple threat match. There was actually some people upset at first because it became a triple threat match. But once I saw it became a triple threat match, I'm like, this is going to make that match just so much better, because I knew putting those three in the ring. Like, what's your thoughts on that? Like, were you kind of upset at first or not?
You know what? I was a little bummed that it happened, but I'm glad it happened at the same time. So I was kind of I was on the fence on it. Because Becky Lynch has been running the show with the title for so long against Belair, and it'd have been nice to see someone else go one-on-one with Belair, and Asuka was a good choice. But once it became a triple threat match, I'm still like, well, it's definitely going to be a main event type of match.
Oh, absolutely.
And what would have made it better if it was in the Hell in the Cell?
Yes, I agree with that.
Well, the thing is, though, so, you know, and people were talking about, you know, what if all these matches were Hell in a Cell matches? But think back to when TNA did Lockdown, right? And like every single match on the card was like in a cell. Then after a while, you're like, that's no fun anymore. Just because it's repetitive and it happens, so it's not the same. And so this one might have been great to put in a cell, but when people are talking about every match, I'm like, no, that would get a little redundant if you put every single match in the cell. Right. So, Big B, what was your thoughts on the triple threat?
No, it was a good match. I'm not a big fan of every title match. It seems like it's been a triple threat, you know, or they've done more of them. But when this became a triple threat, it's like, you know, okay, we'll see what happens. But overall, it was a good match. I think they put three great people in there. You know, I'm with Sarge, though. I would have liked to see it been one-on-one, get Becky out of there, you know, have somebody else fight Belair. But, you know, and I'm also with Sarge, too. This definitely was the right match to kick off and top possibly match of the night. So.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Christy, your thoughts on this match?
Really, really good match, but I'm kind of in agreement with Sarge and with Big B that it would have been better if it was just like Bianca versus, say, just Asuka, for example. Cool. And also it being inside Hell in a Cell would have really, really made it really awesome. But overall, I really, really liked it. So would the match have been better? I don't know if the match would have been better. Would it have been okay to be a one-on-one match? Yeah, but being better, I don't know, because that match was really, really good. So I don't know if a one-on-one match could have been better. Yeah. Well, mess around. I mean, I know you didn't watch it, but
who won? Who won the match? That's all.
Bianca.
Well, Bianca won.
Bianca won. Okay, I thought so. My thoughts, if you know, I want to see, like, I'm with Sarge. I want to see somebody different. I want to see, like, I can't wait for Bayley to come back. That would be cool. Get her back in there. Throw Alexa Bliss in there. Let her get some, you know, somebody different for Bianca instead of Asuka and Becky all the time. We got to get somebody new in there.
All right, and then of course we'll wait. We'll go to Chris. Chris is the last one here, so crispy bacon.
No, it was
He's
a good
sizzling
match.
still.
It was a good match. I mean, it was a good way to start the pay-per-view. I think your top title should be inside Hell in a Cell. I mean, not every match, but I think your top title should be.
Typical fans. They give you a good match, and then you have to come on here and crap on it and be like, you know what? Yeah, it was a good match, but you know what? That's why it is what it is today, because people can't be happy. Like, seriously. What the heck, man?
Then don't
I'm
have a
never
pay-per-view called Hell in a Cell then, if you're going to have one Hell in a Cell match.
Right.
They had a Hell in a Cell match. There you go.
At the end.
Yeah, at
There
the
you go.
end.
Yeah, there's usually two actual Hell in a Cell matches like during this
Right.
pay-per-view.
Usually.
Sometimes
yeah, it was
three.
kind of weird just knowing that there was one.
All right, well, let's go into that next match. So the next match was the handicap match. You had Bobby Lashley versus Omos and MVP. I really think when it came down to it, I don't think people were surprised that Bobby Lashley won. I think a lot of people figured that Bobby Lashley was going to win. And if everybody saw, he was kind of doing his little title things throughout and holding up the title at the end. So I think coming up here soon, we might be getting Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns, potentially.
Maybe.
He's going to go out to 24/7 title.
Right?
Wow.
William, a build-up would have made it much better. The storyline was very rushed, and then Che, if I said it right, I apologize if I say it wrong, but you think we had a good Hell in a Cell? Yeah, which we'll definitely get to that match, later. But so Chris, what was your thoughts on this handicap match?
I was kind of hoping Omos would have won. Just
What? Really?
Whoa.
I felt like only because they've been building up to it. I feel like for him to win this match, but I mean, Bobby Lashley won it. It was kind of a little bit with help with Cedric Alexander, though.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing about it was, the Chris, is like, when you look at this, though, to me personally, I feel like the way that the match ended, it did not do any damage to Omos, because Omos is not the one who took the loss. It was MVP. So it made it to where it's like, okay, so it didn't really hurt Omos all that much, because it was MVP who tapped out. So they can still kind of continue to build Omos a little bit if they want to, which, we know that Vince loves the big guys. He does.
Mm-hmm.
He's always loved the big guys. And then Omos is going to be one of those guys that I think you'll eventually just see continue to kind of grow, and Vince will be like, oh, this is my guy. I want this guy.
Yeah.
You never know. All right, Sarge, your thoughts.
Well, I see William Hudson's comment. I think he likes bacon as well. So
Yeah, good call, Crispy.
I mean, it is what it is with this whole storyline in the match and so forth. The Cedric Alexander, with him being brushed off by MVP, I kind of figured that he was going to interfere with the match some way or somehow with that one.
Yeah.
So, which happened. I don't think a alliance will happen with Lashley. I think it was a one-time deal just to get back at MVP. This match was I would have been okay if it was just on the regular programming, but you know what? It's Hell in a Cell. That's all I got on that one. Let's put that match in a Hell in a Cell. Let's see Omos in a Hell in a Cell with Lashley. That'd have been awesome. I know it's not with the
Those two
match,
guys.
but,
Wow.
but this is more like structured. Or Omos in an elimination chamber. All right, I'm getting a little off topic, but
Could you?
Yeah, that I was thinking that pod would be too small for him.
I was gonna say, could you fit
It's
in it?
so
But
big.
Omos.
Omos.
So William's saying, did anyone catch how much Omos is picking up speed in his matches? Yeah, so
he is.
Getting better.
but that's a thing though. That's why they stuck him with MVP, because they know how much how long he's been wrestling for. MVP can use his skills, put it off on Omos, and it's really, and you can tell it's working. You can tell placing him with MVP has definitely been working. So, Big B, you're.
I picked Lashley to win, and we all know he did. But that promo to start it off with Alexander showing up backstage and they're talking, I thought maybe they're going to throw a little curveball at us, and he was going to interfere, and then they're going to build the alliance again with the Hurt Business. I'm glad they didn't, though. I thought it was a pretty good match. It was, like I said, I think we all kind of figured, outside of Chris, that Bobby Lashley was going to win. So it was a good match to be a number 2. Like Sarge said, they could have done it on Raw, or had the match open up, the pre-card or whatever you want to call it. So,
All right, so William saying Nash was spending time with him training, and then he's also saying, and MVP is a great mouthpiece for him. He is, but that's why they kind of took MVP away from Lashley and placed him on Omos, because Omos has needed that mouthpiece. He's always needed that person. Omos can't talk on the mic. He can't understand what he's saying, so he definitely needed that mouthpiece. Christy, your thoughts?
Wasn't a bad match. I mean, Omos is definitely improving in leaps and bounds here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I agree on one thing. It could have been this could have been a handicap match on Raw, but they put it on Hell in a Cell. So you know what? It is what it is.
Mess around with mess around.
That's right. Messing around.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't get a chance to watch this one either, but
Lashley won.
Yeah, I figures. I mean, it's kind of stupid. You got Omos, you're trying to build him up this big guy, and you have him lose.
But
all these matches to Lashley, but
it's like I was saying though. In this match, Omos didn't technically lose because he didn't take the loss. It was MVP.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. You protect him a little bit there. So
they protected Omos by not having him take the loss.
True.
Exactly.
Oh, here's a quick question: are we more impressed with Omos's in-ring skills, or are we more impressed with Dominic Mysterio's in-ring skills?
Well, let me tell you this though.
Oh my
Or
god!
who's maybe that's not the right term.
No.
Who's impressed you in their coming along? Let's put it that way.
Well, yeah, but that's what I was about to say. I was going to say, if you're talking about like improving more, Omos is the one that's actually improving more.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
that's what I meant.
And William's saying someone should mute Big B.
There you go.
So there you go. You got it.
No,
you got the good old mute.
Jeez.
You just made the list, William.
You just made the list. So going into our next one.
Oh, thank you.
We had Kevin Owens versus Ezekiel.
Elias.
We had Kevin Owens. We had Kevin Owens picking up the victory, which I was happy for Kevin, and actually, it was actually a very good match. Now, Big B, let me tell you this: William saying Dominic Mysterio is awful. Come on now, Big B. So he's saying there you go. Well, that's why you're saying.
You know what? I'm gonna make a call to Disco Inferno and send them down his way.
So there you go.
Oh, it's on now.
Right. So Sarge, Kevin Owens, and Ezekiel.
Like, I don't understand why people still think that it's Elias. It's 100% Ezekiel. It's his younger brother. Like, I saw the pictures and everything else. I don't get it. I don't get it. But it was great that Ezekiel was able to perform, and he kind of has an Ultimate Warrior type of outfit that he has. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I thought it was a good match and so forth. And unfortunately, he did not win. But he was paired up with a great wrestler in KO. So I enjoyed the match.
Did anybody see that interview with Ezekiel beforehand?
Yes.
When he was talking with Byron, he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was always mine and Elias's dream when we were younger and we were watching wrestling. It was always our dream to become tag team champions, and maybe somewhere down the line we will win those tag team titles.
And did you see Byron go?
We're definitely waiting for it. And he's like, right now, I don't know what Elias is doing. I don't blame him. If he wanted to take some time off, it's cool. You'll probably see him somewhere along the line. I was like, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Did you Byron go?
Yeah.
He's buying it like.
And William is saying Big B is a heel. Big B is a heel. All right.
Oh my god.
So Big B, Kevin Owens and Ezekiel.
I mean, it was a good match. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but I'm still waiting for like them to do a little Titantron of Ezekiel or Elias showing up and being like he's backstage or something during one of Ezekiel matches.
That's cool.
That was a good match. KO won. Good for him. I thought Ezekiel was going to pull out the victory again, but I guess he needed to lose sometimes. Now he can regroup and go after the tag titles with his brother.
Right. I mean, I'm telling you, this storyline it's been actually kind of good. I've actually rather enjoyed it. Gosh, you all know this is Elias. You all know it's
Elias.
It's Elias. All right, Christy, your thoughts?
Not a bad match. Definitely not a bad match. I mean, I had Ezekiel winning myself, but KO got the victory, and that's cool. So.
All right, mess around.
Yeah, I like the storyline too. I'm with everybody else. I can't wait for Elias to actually show up. In some
you
shape,
know what
fashion, or
WWE
form.
stands for.
They're gonna
have him backstage strumming on his guitar and be like, WWE stands for
Walk with Elias.
Yeah, they're gonna get somebody with a giant beard and kind of look like Elias, and they're gonna be like, he's here.
And then KO's like, no, fake.
How funny would it be if it was they were actually twins in real life?
That would be sweet.
That would actually be like I think everybody would be like, holy shit! Like people would be so shocked.
Is this for real?
If Elias actually walked out and said, "I am Ezekiel's older brother," everyone would be like, "Wait, what? What?"
Mind blown.
Exactly.
Now that would be the best kept secret in wrestling,
right?
Exactly.
Oh
yes.
That would be a shocking one. I'd be like, that did not just happen. I'd be like, there's no way that just happened.
I like how a couple weeks ago Kevin Owens like, yeah, my older brother's gonna be here. He's gonna come out and face you. Blah blah blah. It's great.
Yikes.
All right, Chris, your thoughts? Kevin Owens and Ezekiel.
Good match. I thought the storyline was good throughout, but I think maybe it's kind of run its course a little bit, or maybe you need to stop it and change it up a little bit. But
I think it's over now.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll pick
Time
it
for
up.
these guys to
somewhere
move on.
Yeah. But no, I liked it. Good match.
You liked it. You liked it. We can go into our next match, which why am I forgetting the next one?
IC title.
No.
No. That was not the next match.
Oh, it was a 6-man tag.
Yes,
the
six-person Judgment Day
Facing our
versus
Judgment Day.
Finn and Liv.
Full Live Club.
It was
someone I know is referring to them as.
It was a good match. I think what threw people off is I think people were kind of like they thought that somebody would be joining tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Me personally, I am okay with them not having somebody join tonight. I was completely okay with that because they had Rhea join at WrestleMania Backlash. So why have somebody else join again at Hell in a Cell? Save it for like Raw or something like that.
You had Damian Priest join after
Mania.
At WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, well, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. This time you don't need to have anybody join at the pay-per-view. Wait till like a Raw or something like that, and have
Right.
somebody join there. So it's not happening every pay-per-view. So, Sarge, your thoughts on the 6-man tag?
It was. I think that's the one match I actually did not watch.
Really?
Yeah. Things happen.
Okay.
Somebody getting naughty time?
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
What?
You know what? It's not the Four Bros right now.
Oh God.
Big B?
no, I thought it was a good match. I was one of the, many people that thought maybe they would join somebody to Judgment Day. Again, like Ace said, I'm glad they really did it because 2 pay-per-views in a row, you get somebody to join. Maybe the next person joins and then Edge becomes, more of a full-time manager. But I know they've been hinting with some other people joining. Damian Priest said he'd like to see AJ join, and I really hope AJ doesn't join. I hope he sticks with Finn Balor and Liv, and build up the Bullet Club some. So,
Oh, yeah, I did watch that
overall,
match.
good match.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, I personally haven't heard anything about AJ joining. I've only heard about Ciampa and Finn.
Yeah, no, Damian Priest said he's really trying to hope to get in AJ's mind for him to join. So Damian Priest is the one that said that. So,
Well, if anything is right as far as the rumors and everything, it's seriously only, but from what I've heard, is Ciampa or Finn.
I really hope Ciampa doesn't. I hope Finn doesn't either.
Yeah.
So those are what I've heard. All right, Christy.
I mean, it wasn't a bad match. I mean, it was good that Judgment Day did not get another member at this pay-per-view. They should hold it off a little bit. And as for who I think should probably join Judgment Day, Big B's going to hate this. It's Ciampa. I think it's going to be Ciampa. Kind of go back to that dark side he used to have when he was in NXT and he was the NXT champion.
No, honestly, I don't disagree with it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
and also, I really don't think he has anything going on right now, any feuds or anything like that.
Well, you guys did hear who originally Edge handpicked to be in Judgment Day.
I didn't hear it.
Edge actually handpicked Peter Bordox before they had released him. He said, "I will pick Judgment Day." But then a bunch of his past came up of what he did wrong in the past, and so they had released him, or else he was supposed to be in Judgment Day. Edge handpicked him.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did read that.
It was a hand picking. All right, mess around.
You're on mute.
You're on mute, buddy.
It was an okay match. It was, get time to go to the bathroom, get some popcorn.
Dragon Viper.
It's Edge. I'm tired of the guy. He can go away.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't watch the match, but if I would have, anytime you put these guys together, it's going to be a banger.
You know why? Because this is the house that AJ Styles. Okay,
right. No, that's SmackDown.
Right.
I think the next member of Judgment Day should be mess around.
I really think it should be Corbin.
See it now. It's Corbin. Bend the knee. Bow down, Edge.
Corbin. Crispy, how about you?
Oh my goodness.
Good match. I picked Judgment Day to win, but I was kind of hoping in the back of my mind that, team of AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Liv would win. I think out of the 3, I'd probably pick Liv to join. I don't know.
Liv? No,
just out of the 3. Out of the 3. But
I don't think they're going to have another female join.
Yeah, they've got Rhea, so there's no point in adding another woman to the mix.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that.
Unless Rhea recommends somebody. I don't know.
But it would make zero sense right now to have another female. So that's why I don't think. I personally don't think they will. But I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
Who's it gonna be?
So I lied, guys. I actually did watch the match.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh, all right. From a vertical position is what he said.
So it was a good match. Like you got like Hall of Famers or Hall of Famer and future Hall of Famers in the ring with right there. I liked the beginning of the match. It kind of reminded me of the movie off of Dirty Dancing where AJ Styles threw Liv up and she did the
Oh yeah.
Was it Hurricane Rana?
Rana on Rhea. Yeah.
Okay.
So Liv must be strong because Rhea is huge. So
yeah, right.
She's like what 5'8", 5'9", something like that.
Something like that.
What's that might be a movie?
Tall.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
She's a tall woman.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Exactly. Well, baby went into the corner and got thrown out. So.
Yes, baby went into that corner and.
Oh my
god. Right. So, just all right. I'll wait on this one because this was just something that just popped up. That
That's what you said.
No, that I will mention it later. But okay,
yeah,
so,
you better take care of that later. Nobody wants to see that.
Right. So the next match is we have the no holds barred Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin, and so this is who Big B saying should join Judgment Day is Corbin.
Oh,
so
God.
Sarge, I'll start out with you. Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss.
It was a good match. I mean, it kind of. I think Crispy said it earlier, saying that like Moss was kind of like the lone wolf now type. Sarah, is that what you were talking about, Crispy?
Yeah, kind of. I was thinking back. You may return to one of his former characters because after what Madcap Moss did.
So like I think they dropped the Madcap part and they're just called him Moss. With that, it was a good redemption match for Moss to defeat Corbin. I enjoyed it very much. The ending was very fitting. Mm-hmm. So we'll probably not see Corbin for a little while with that being said. So I gotta give props. It was a good match. Corbin's underrated. That's what I think. Also,
yes, and Corbin, like the thing that I've always said about Corbin though too is Corbin is like the Miz, and what I mean by that is that Corbin is one of those guys that can lose and still stay relevant because of what he can do on the mic, and he's kind of like the Miz in that aspect. Miz doesn't have to have a championship in order to stay relevant. He doesn't have to because he's always relevant no matter what because he's the Miz. Happy Corbin doesn't need a title because he's relevant because he's Happy Corbin. That's who he is, Corbin. You give him any Corbin can pull it off. You can laugh at that if you want, but you know it's true. You know it's true.
Damn true.
Corbin would run circles around the Miz in the ring.
You would.
I'm not saying that he would. What I'm saying is you have to say that's what I'm comparing it to. Is like Miz is that guy who even came out and said, I don't need a championship.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I mean, Miz definitely doesn't need the title to stay relevant. I mean, he's annoying as can be already, so that's why he stays relevant because he's annoying.
And Corbin's like that same way. He doesn't need a title to stay relevant because he's going to be relevant no matter what. But Big B, what was your thoughts on this match?
Minnesota came away with the victory. That's all that really matters because that's all we care about here in Minnesota is winning. So that's all wrestlers do is win. The sport teams can't win, but
sport teams can't win.
So no, good match. I mean, this is another one, no holds bar. I mean, why not throw it in the Hell in the Cell, kind of end the feud, hopefully. Corbin take some time out, come back as a lone wolf, join Judgment Day. That's how I would write it. But Madcap, hopefully they push him and start getting some gold around him.
And they might I actually didn't realize how jacked he actually was until in his new attire. I'm like, dude, that dude's jacked. I didn't realize.
Jacked, seriously.
I didn't realize how big he actually was. And I'm like, yeah, he's actually a big guy.
He's huge.
Yeah.
So, Christy, your thoughts?
Not a bad match. I did like the fact that it was what was it?
No
holds barred.
No holds barred match, yeah, because those are usually pretty fun matches to watch. So it was pretty good. It's definitely pretty good.
I like it during the match though when the fans were like, "We want tables."
We want tables. I think they were chanting. Yeah, they were chanting. And I'm like, "You sickos!"
And Corbin's like, "No." I was like,
that's no holds barred. You can pretty much do anything you want. You can hit him in the face with a chair. You can smash him through a table.
Yeah, and then Moss with him when they're like, "We want tables," and Moss like, "No, I'm gonna beat his ass with this chair." Yeah. I was like, "That's awesome." I was like, "That's
the crowd
great."
was on fire.
I was like, "That was great." No,
awesome.
We want tables.
No, I'll beat him ass with this chair. All right, I'll mess around.
Oh, finally a match I actually watched.
Oh, really?
All the time, you're only halfway through the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was on. I was trying to catch up
here.
I was trying to catch up with Raw and SmackDown because I thought we were just doing a normal show. So
you were catching up on your sleeping.
I was trying to watch both those to get caught up, and then I realized I had a message from Ace from last night, and I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" He's like, "Oh, I'm watching Hell in Its Own." I'm like, "What? That's today?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I put it on, and that was the first match I saw, and it was actually a really good match. I was surprised that Madcap went over again for the second pay-per-view in a row. If Corbin does change characters, he shouldn't come back as the lone wolf. He should come back as the bald wolf.
The bald wolf.
Introducing the bald wolf, Baron Corbin.
All right, Crispy.
Now, a good match. I like those kind of matches where it's, something like that. No disqualification, no holds barred. Yeah, gets the crowd involved a little bit. I think Corbin's gonna be off, SmackDown for a little bit and might return close to Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
We want tables.
We want tables.
All right, so going to the next match, Mustafa Ali versus Theory for the United States title. I don't think it's really a shocker that Theory won. I think everybody kind of figured that Theory was going to win anyways. And look, people can hate on Theory all they want, and that's cool, But the thing is Theory has all, man. Like, Theory has it all. Theory has skills. He has charisma. He's good on the mic. He has everything that a wrestler needs. People hate him because of his character, but if you hate him, then he's doing his job.
Yep.
And
I agree.
And that's exactly what it is. Like, I'm a fan of Theory. I think the dude's great. I think he is. And so I do think down the road he's going to be a world champion. He's going to be at some point.
It's a process.
All right, Sarge, what was your thoughts on this match?
Trust the process.
To be honest, this was like my favorite match to watch because Theory and Ali are actually really athletic, and they're amazing in the ring and so forth. And I personally like Theory. He reminds me a little bit of Cena. That's the way he's coming up and so forth, which I kind of like. But I just enjoyed it because it's really athletic, and Ali had the crowd on his side like 100% and so forth. And of course, WWE does it. What does it best is just when he's about to win, they rip that out from Ali and give it to Theory. So I enjoyed the match. I loved it. I think it was probably the match of the night in my professional opinion.
All right, so Sarge, so you may actually get kind of your wish when you were kind of comparing him to Cena, because there are rumors that it's supposed to be Theory versus Cena at SummerSlam.
I can't see it.
Ooh.
Huh?
I can't see it.
You don't, right? Right.
Da-da-da.
So, because you're comparing him to Cena, this could be like, imagine him going up against Cena. That could be one hell of a match. Like, to be perfectly honest, that could be a hell of a match.
Yeah, and it could actually be like the retire match for Cena putting Theory over. So I can see that happening.
Yeah, kind of like a passing of the torch.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, kind of like how The Rock did it with Cena. So
yeah, it could definitely be that could be one of them, definitely. Big B, how about you?
God, this match, two overrated wrestlers.
Oh,
Can't
get
stand
outta
either
here.
one of them.
Oh no.
No, honestly, guys, I actually had to take a
break.
break from the pay-per-view, so I caught the ending, like right before Theory won. So I'm going to go home and watch the match again, but, just listening to Sarge and, kind of reading, reviews and stuff, and I think it would have been a good match to watch. I definitely will go home and watch it. Both guys are high flyers. Theory's definitely an up-and-comer. The comparison to Cena already is kind of ridiculous, but we probably will see. We probably will see it at SummerSlam. Patch of the Torch. This is Vince's new guy, so he will be a world champ, multi-world champ sooner than later.
I don't think he's saying that he's as good as Cena. I think what he's saying is that he reminds him of him because of his skill sets and everything. So that's why I think he's saying that.
It's not the skill set.
And I can see it. I mean, I definitely can see it.
Yeah, because Cena wasn't a high flyer at all.
Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's fine because you're talking about the you were saying because of what reminded you.
It's just how he's coming up through the ranks in WWE. It reminds me how Cena did it and so forth. Because like Cena was cocky when he came back in and when he first started and so forth. And
ruthless aggression.
Yeah, I think it was against Big Show, I believe, or Kurt Angle, where he got his push on that one. So there is just one superstar away to get him that like final push.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because there was actually a lot of stuff backstage where people were saying at first people didn't know what Austin Theory was going to be like because people were like, I don't know too much about this guy. He hasn't really shown anything. But then they said, like, over the course of the last couple of years, they said he's really worked his butt off to get where he's at and really got there to be the performer he is. So all credit to Theory on that. It was actually a very, very good match. But Christy, I'll go to you.
It was a really, really good match. Would have been amazing if Mustafa Ali, who's from Chicago, had won in his hometown. But you know what? Not the right time to take the title off of Theory. Definitely not the right time.
No, he just got it. So
he just got it. So there was like no point.
It's too soon.
All right, next round.
I like the match. It's Austin Theory. I've been on the Austin Theory hype train since he came up. I thought the guy's gonna be a star, and he hasn't proven me wrong. And even during the match, they mentioned ruthless aggression. Mm-hmm. So I don't think you're too far off in the Cena comparison there, Sarge. I thought the same thing too. I'm like, this guy reminds me of a young Cena.
Oh.
So sorry.
That's all right.
Not
again.
No,
is your car acting up, Mr.?
It's definitely.
It's my truck.
Yeah. Oh, it's your truck. Okay, never mind.
It's definitely true though. Like a lot of people, when they get mad that like I don't like this guy. I'm like, well, if you don't like him, that he's doing his job. You're supposed to not like him. That's the point.
Yeah.
Like he's the heel.
Yeah, I like the selfie thing he does at the end too. I think that's funny and great.
That's great. I like that.
Yeah, it kind of
a bit annoying, but it's part of his gimmick, so I can't be mad about it.
It kind of reminds me of Tyler Breeze when
he had
Fashion
Police.
The selfie stick.
Selfie stick? Yeah, I remember that.
Stick, yeah, when he first came out. Chris, your thoughts on Theory and Mustafa?
Not my original pick was Theory, but I was joking in chat saying, can I change my pick to Ali only because Mustafa Ali only because he's from Chicago and he had to be the crowd on the side when he was being entered for this entrance. So now it was a good match. I don't know when Theory's going to lose his title, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. Maybe in a couple more pay-per-views.
Right. Well, I think if he loses it, then he's just gonna get put into like maybe the IC title scene. I don't know. Have him kind of progress and move up from there.
Okay.
All right, let's move on and go to that absolute fire main event that we had. I mean,
Fire.
yeah, it's
Your
no
discretion
joke.
is advised.
One thing about it. Like before I came on, and I even put this in the chat, and I said, look, even if people did not like Cody Rhodes before, what you saw tonight, the dude should have earned so much respect because of what he did tonight. Like, and what I was gonna say that I saw, it was from a wrestling writer who said, I have gotten messages from talent in every major promotion tonight in awe at what Cody Rhodes pulled off at Hell in a Cell.
Wow.
With the condition he was in. He said, I got messages from Impact, AEW, from everybody who was just in awe at what Cody Rhodes was able to pull off.
Wow.
And the thing is, for people who are saying that it's a work, come on, man. That's
How can you work that? That was horrible.
That's not even a work.
You can't convince me that it's a work. It did not look like one.
Even the announcers were like, he's hurt. He's in pain.
He was.
I seriously thought when I found it out, I'm like, there's no way he's gonna compete in a Hell in a Cell match. He could barely move his freaking arm.
He barely lifted up.
And he was able to pull that off. Like that was insane.
Well,
I can
when he was
imagine
doing this, I thought, uh-oh.
Huh?
When he does his intro, like that, he didn't have his right arm up.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. So I can imagine what his arm felt like the whole time throughout this match. I mean, I can tell you probably felt like his chest was on fire. Like not even
every time he made a move with that right arm, that hurt like a son of a bitch.
I was just cringing half the time. I was like, oh.
Absolutely. Like
I don't know how he didn't show it on his face or grimace or nothing. Like
he was showing.
I was like, he didn't do none of that.
Oh, I'm sure there was times to when the camera was turning away, facing it wrong.
He did, yeah.
He's like buried in his arms, going, "Shit, this hurts," and he's like trying to do whatever he can to hide it. But and I don't know if you guys saw the spot, but when Rollins pulled out the first table, everybody was like, "Thank you, Rollins."
Yeah.
Thank you, Rollins.
Everybody was turning on Cody, and they're like, "No, they're just thanking Rollins for pulling out a damn table."
Yeah, everybody wanted somebody to pull out a table, so everyone's like, "Thank you, Rollins." that was
wow.
But definitely, that to me is a contender for match of the year.
Yes. What about Seth's ring gear?
Oh God!
Oh, the polka dots.
Well, you know how they did that, right?
That's for Dusty.
Cody's dad.
Dusty. Yeah, which is why they did that. It just kind of fueled more to the fire, so to say. So, Sarge, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, banger.
One word, it's that simple.
Yeah, it was a great match, and I can't believe how like you were saying that people were like saying that it was a work and stuff. I mean, the thing is, if his pectoral wasn't 100% torn, I don't think Cody would have been there. But he had to get a clearance, probably from the doctors, to at least to wrestle, and I think he cannot do any more damage to that tear because they'll tell him no. But it was a good match. It was a great match. I loved it, even though it was not my match of the night. But I like the bull rope. Why is there a bull rope underneath the ring?
Escorted underneath there.
I guess
They
he needed
are-
more cowbell. So
They're
I-
paying
Cowbell.
homage to Dusty.
Well, yeah, Sarge. I was gonna say if you caught it though, it was Dusty was in a lot of those matches, so that's why they
Yep.
put it underneath the ring because they were trying to pay honor to him by actually doing that. So
yeah, well, Rollins got his head rung, so it worked out.
That's
So
literally got his
but-
bell rung.
yeah, it was a great match. It was a good send off. It was great seeing Cody kiss the ring, saying that all right, he's gonna be gone for a while, about
Right.
7 to 8 months. With that, so it was a good match. So A++.
tell you what, whew, sorry, like every time I think about the match, I just like feel that pain in my chest, or I'm like, oh my god, dude, like that's got to be one.
Painful.
That's got to be one strong SOB to where you can like take like pain and be like, okay, I'm cool with it, but go like telling Vince, because Vince and then wanted to actually pull him and be like, let's find a replacement, and Cody's like, no, I'm here. I told the fans I'm doing this match. I'm doing this, and so it's like, wow, wow, dude, talk about dedication.
Oof.
Yeah,
Respect.
that was
Wow.
dedication. Big B, your thoughts?
No, definitely a great match. My match of the night for sure, but I will go back and watch the Theory match and just, kind of compare. But anybody that thinks this is a work by Cody, WWE, needs to go get their head examined because, I mean, if it wasn't work, Cody would have used that right arm a little bit more than what he did. He wouldn't have showed the pain. He would have slipped up somewhere down the road, but there's no way that's a work because you could tell he was using his left arm 95% of the time, and everything was on his right or left side. I mean, Seth did the best job he could do in selling the injury and, poking at it. And the one downside I had about the match, and I was talking to, before we all joined on, is when Seth went for the crossroads and Cody no-sold it, popped right back up and gave him his crossroads. It's just like, wow, didn't even sell that. So that was kind of the disappointing part for me, but I'm glad Cody got the win. It sounds like he's going to be gone for a few months, like Sarge said. So we'll see where they build things now because they probably have to go back and rewrite some feuds that they were going to do. So we'll see what happens.
Right. Well, so if the rumors were true that I read about this match was originally I don't know if it's true or not, but from what I read was that originally Seth Rollins was supposed to win this match, but then Seth told but then Seth told Vince and said if Cody's going out there and wrestling on a torn pec, he needs to win this match. And so I don't know if those rumors are true or not, but that's from what I saw that Seth was like, no, he needs to win. He's going out and wrestling on this torn pec. So,
well, I hope Sasha Banks and Naomi are watching this.
Oh, that's comment of the night right there.
All right, mess around. Your thoughts on this?
I was talking to my son during his match. I'm like, that I don't. It wouldn't make any sense for me to have Cody winning this match. He's going to be out for a while. I don't see Cody winning this match because of the injury. I mean, just makes no sense. Have Rollins win. Let him win because Cody's going to be gone. And then have Cody beat him 3 times in a row. It just makes no sense. But hats off to Rollins for telling Vince, no, let Cody win this thing. But it kind of made sense at the end. They kind of protected Seth a little bit by having Cody use the sledgehammer. So Cody could, Rollins could always say, yeah, you only won because you used that sledgehammer on me. So they kind of protected Seth in a way there.
Right. But to kind of end the feud, it makes sense to have Cody win too, because then if Seth wins, it's like, oh, I want a chance to even it up. And it's like,
right.
It's 3-0. Now it's over. So
moving on.
Crispy, your thoughts?
Good match. It was probably my match of the night. Kudos to Cody. I mean, I wouldn't have done that. Probably wouldn't want to do that. So I mean, he did what he had to do out there, and now it's just all about the rehab and recovery.
I would have taken a rain check.
Yeah, I would. I would.
There would have been a lot of cortisone shots in me to go out there.
Ooh.
Which you know what? It would not surprise me if they gave him one or two of them.
He
at
got one or two of them.
yeah, I guarantee they gave him.
Go to your back, you go out there.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Oh yeah, because there would be no way he could have gone out there with nothing. Like
I'm actually surprised how long the match lasted, though. Is
Me
what
too.
yeah, we thought it was gonna be quick, like maybe
Yeah.
a 20-minute, maybe
Yeah,
not.
but it was longer than we thought.
Yeah, I think that was like the big shocker about it. But overall, so now we can kind of give our final thoughts and our final overall grades.
You forgot Chrissy.
Yeah.
No, I already did. I already said.
No,
No,
Christine.
Oh, I thought I got you. I'm sorry,
Right
Christy.
here.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, this was definitely my match of the night. Cody, guy, he's a crazy, brave yet crazy son of a bitch. I'll tell you. We go with the torn pectoral. I could barely watch this and like that bruising was just completely throwing me off. But he's crazy. But I am so glad he won. I am so glad he won, and Rollins did great too. So hats off to both of them.
Rollins has shown in the past that Rollins can carry a company.
Yes,
because he did it. He did it in the past when he was champion. He carried WWE for a long time. So I know how good Rollins is.
Yes.
All right. So with that, we can kind of start giving our final thoughts and our final grades for Hell in a Cell. So Crispy, I'll start with you.
I'd probably give it B minus. I don't know. I thought it was a good pay-per-view overall.
All right, and your final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Good pay-per-view. Hopefully they have some improvements for next time, but maybe 2 Hell in a Cell matches.
Yeah.
All right, Sarge.
All right, I'm gonna give this an A minus. If it wasn't for that Omos and Lashley match, I mean, I'd put it up to an A or A plus with that one. I'm kind of with Crispy Bacon. I wish they added one more Hell in a Cell match because you know what? This is the theme of the pay-per-view with that one. Let's go with Asuka, Belair, and Lynch, and that would have been awesome to see. But it was a good match, and I can't wait to take on Dragon Viper next week.
All right, Big B, how about you?
Yeah, it was an A minus pay-per-view. Like those other two said. Another Hell in a Cell match would be okay. A little disappointing. We only had 2 title matches. The women's title and then the men's intercut or U.S. title. It would have been nice to see maybe a tag match, title match, or Roman in there. But I know he's trying to take some time off here and there. So overall, A minus.
Now, wasn't Ronda's against Natalia? Wasn't that supposed to be a
No.
pay-per-view?
That's just for a future.
Yeah.
I heard
Could be Money in the Bank. You never know.
Yeah, so it could happen at Money in the Bank. We don't know yet.
or Friday.
All right, so Christy.
I would go A minus. It was a really, really good pay-per-view. Would have loved to have seen Becky versus Bianca versus Asuka inside Hell in a Cell, but it was a great match, and a lot of the matches were really good. And my final thoughts, I don't know if I have any right now.
All right, and then mess around.
I'm gonna give it an incomplete because there wasn't enough title matches. There was only one Hell in a Cell match. I give it incomplete. It wasn't good enough for me.
Well, phooey on you too.
It sounds like the Chicago Bears football season, incomplete.
That's right. That's right. At least we don't choke at the end like the Vikings.
That's why they're the color purple.
Well,
I will also go. I will also go with that A minus grade. I enjoyed it. My 2 favorite. Well, I would say my 3 favorite matches of the night. Definitely the triple threat match was great. Theory and Mustafa was great, and then the main event was just freaking fire. So when it comes to those, that was great. I can't wait to see what Raw brings tomorrow, what's going to be in store. With that, we definitely want to thank everybody for watching another episode of Between the Ropes. And we will see you next Sunday for another episode of Between the Ropes. So have a fantastic night.